Here's some action from Rod Laver Arena. Rafael Nadal is serving against Mikhail Youzhny, two Davis Cup heroes for their respective countries, but Nadal well in control against the 15th seed, takes the first set 6-1. As promised, Rafael Nadal and Mikhail Youzhny, it's a set all 6-1, 6-4 as we join Alan Stone and John Fitzgerald.
That's the second point of the third set we've just witnessed. Mikhail Youzhny, after an hour and 20 minutes, has finally got his nose in front. He was hit off the court in the first set, 6-1 by the young 18-year-old Rafael Nadal, but fought back, got his head down and really worked hard in the second set, Youzhny, and snatched the set in the last game, and is now serving at 30-love in the first game of the third.
His confidence is growing. Just went for too much in the first set, made so many unforced errors. He's still hitting hard and aggressively, but a bit better choice of time to do it in the last 45 minutes or so. And he's really fired up here.
Solid opening game from Mikhail Youzhny. He leads 1-love.
First game, set.
Looking forward to the third match on centre here, Alan. James Blake, Leighton Hewitt, I witnessed them play a match at the US Open a couple of years ago. It was a beauty. Went the distance.
And Blake's very much on the comeback, and a player that a lot of scribes thought was destined to be top 10. He's had a few problems, and it's great to see him back. He's a real entertainer. Wonderful hitter of the ball. So I think that'll be a bit closer than a lot of people think.
This is the young Spaniard, the 18-year-old sensation, Rafael Nadal.
You can just hear the ball fizzing off his racket when he hits that topspin forehand. I've seen anybody hit with more topspin for a long time. And this racket head speed that he gets, very strong.
Well, mistake this time from Nadal. He's trying to get forward towards the net a little bit, closer up into the court so he can knock it off. You can see in the top left-hand corner there, just a little mini scoreboard. In black, it's 1-all. And, of course, in the red there now, Youzhny leading 1-love in the third set. And 30-15 in Nadal's favour. Well, the forehand, as we've seen in this match so far, Alan, you've observed that off forehand of Nadal's is lethal, this time down the line, but he loves it when he stands into his backhand corner and rips the ball away. But a similar effect with this one, hitting it down the line. He has an enormous forehand.
Game, Nadal.
And he wins that game convincingly. It's 1-1 in the third set.
1 game.
25 million viewers, Alan, so far have seen that in the US. And it's open to rave reviews in the UK as well. So something to look forward to on 7.
I wonder what night it's going to be on. We'll have to pencil it in, I think.
So this match in the balance here now. Youzhny has fought his way back into this second set and now third. Well, you can't help feeling that this is going to become extremely physical as this match wears on.
I'd say brutal.
15 levels.
I just can't help wondering if Nadal's got any other game to go to, though. I mean, he really does this well with the top spin and his strength, but he's not a natural volleyer. He doesn't have a big serve, so he's not going to get any free points off his serve. And usually can hit it harder and flatter from the back of the court. And a better serve.
13.
They did play in Doha 3 weeks ago in the second round there, which Nadal won 6-3, 7-6. Youzhny had won the only other time they'd played.
Oh, good anticipation. He almost had to commit one way there, I think, Youzhny. He might have been a stranded duck if he had not guessed. Using this forehand down the line well, too, is Youzhny. That's done some damage for him in the last 45 minutes. He just guesses there and closes on top of the net. The lob was
ready.
Had him. It was ready for the taking from Nadal.
I just like his body language there. He looks like a winner to me, I must say, Mikhail Youzhny. I wouldn't have thought so at the start of the match.
Well, Nadal read that drop shot before Youzhny even shaped up to hit it. Nadal thought he had Youzhny stretching so wide, maybe it was the only shot he could come up with, and he was already 2 or 3 steps towards the net.
Pulls up a little gingerly there, I thought.
You could hear the no-no from Mikhail there after he knew he'd mishit that last forehand off the frame. Just hooking it wide. Needs to close this game out. Set all, 1-1, 40-30. And that's the forehand that I think you love as much as anyone, Alan. The off forehand that Nadal hits. Great accuracy and incredible power and bounce from this ball. That's muscle.
It's really just bludgeoning the tennis ball, isn't it? It's unbelievable how hard these two players are hitting it here. Well, 40 love he's had in this game. Youzhny, it was the drop shot at 40 love that he played. And from that point, he's got himself into trouble here. It would be a crushing blow to drop serve from 40 love up.
It certainly would. That can change the momentum for quite a significant period of time. Oh, the serve saves him. And that's what Nadal doesn't really have the ability to do, on the big point, to get those free points off the first serve. He'll use the first serve to set up his forehand, but very rarely gets the free point.
Well, that's pretty quick. 190 Ks on 92 out wide to the Nadal backhand on the first court. Hard to get it over that high part of the net and in, hitting it that flat.
Oh, wonderful tennis from Nadal. His opponent made him cover a lot of territory there, though. Nadal, you would think, would make Youzhny cover more territory, but I think it's the opposite at the moment. Youzhny using the angles very well. He doesn't win this point, but makes Nadal run all sorts of distance. Not overly convincing with that smash, was he?
Just sliding it into the corner, but he covers extra distance because he's so keen to get onto his forehand that he actually has to run a long way into his backhand corner to get the ball on that whipping forehand.
Oh, that's really good stuff.
Boy, did he close there.
Sometimes I think, Alan, that players, yes, it's an advantage to be back a long way so that they can have time to shape up and rip their ground stakes. But on that occasion, you saw when it was a disadvantage, Youzhny hit a forehand that was short, angled, and didn't come through too far, and it caught Nadal and put him on the back foot from then on in that rally. He had to move forward and just push that reply. So game point, Youzhny.
Well, you just wonder if this went 5 sets at such a furious speed and pace, who would be the fitter player? I mean, it's certainly going to take a toll on both players, the intensity of it.
Well, you're looking at them both, you'd have to say that Nadal was the stronger player in terms of physicality. He's bigger, he's more muscle-bound, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can go the distance better than your opponent.
There's that flatter forehand, so it's a big contrast in their styles of forehand, both very effective.
Both of these guys have been Davis Cup heroes for their country too. Youzhny in a final, and of course Nadal right through last year in 3 big matches, including the final, so that you know they can go 5 sets. But these are fairly trying conditions. He holds on, does Mikhail Youzhny, and it's a relief. He leads 2-1 in the third.
Youzhny leads 2 games to 1.
And 5.
15 love.
First point of the 4th game here in the third set. Rafael Nadal, the 18-year-old Spaniard, 2-1 down, but serving at 15 love.
tennis.
Yeah, I think it's good that you're seeing venture forward Nadal. He's not overly convincing with the volleys yet in his early career, but young career, but he is prepared to take the risk and come forward, and that's another way he can finish points off.
At least he seems to have the ability to know the right time to come in when he's opened up the court.
Well, against a left-hander's second serve, one that's kicking like that, you have to really control the return. The spin taking that ball wide over the sideline.
Game, Nadal.
So a solid game from Nadal. It's 2-all. This match really poised now, isn't it?
Yes, it's just who's going to be able to get the vital break in this third set. It's a question, I think, of wills here. They're both very, very determined players. It's such a physical match this is. You can just hear the effort that they're putting into it.
I love the way Youzhny will move inside the baseline and take this ball on the rise. Not a ton of topspin on his forehand, in contrast to Nadal's, but he can flatten this ball out and very accurate with it. He's hit a lot of winners down that line.
That's beautiful hitting from the Russian. Classical strokes there, contrasting style. Lovely flowing ground strokes.
I think his backhand is such an interesting shot. It almost looks like he wants to hit it with two hands, and I think at the point of impact almost his left hand comes off the backhand and all of a sudden it becomes a one-hander the way he finishes it.
Well, he's ahead in the winner department, 27-16. Most of them with those ground strokes.
Well, 28-16 now. It's interesting, though, that the unforced errors were also 27-16 in favour of Youzhny. So you can see that by that stat that he goes for a little bit more and tries to finish the point off and hits a lot more winners, but makes considerably more errors as well. Well, he'll be happy with a free point there. Youzhny holds, and he leads 3-2 in the third set.
Youzhny leads 3 games to 2.
So this match really poised, and Nadal is feeling the pressure a bit more now. In the early stages, right through the first set, he was dominating, and it was tough to see how Youzhny would fight back into the match, but he's been able to do so, and really mixing it now toe-to-toe with Rafael Nadal, serving at 2-3 in the third.
Well, had the opening, he pushed Nadal well wide, just a little anxious to get it there. Slight mishit.
He achieved the first half of the equation, didn't he? Took Nadal out of court, and the opening was there. But he was tempted maybe just to go for a bit too much. Well, that type of unforced error is not usual for this player in particular, but also this style of player. With all that margin for error they use with the top spin on the forehand side, don't generally make easy errors like that. Oh, wonderful.
That is glorious. I don't see a better one-hander or a one-and-a-half-hander, whatever you like to call it, than that one.
1.5.
Let's have a look at him here. Eyes on the ball, gets set, and goes right through it.
It's the finished product you have to worry about, isn't it?
That is a classic.
The result.
Missing that one. But I just think that he's just got more weapons than Nadal. Nadal's basically, it's the forehand. The serve he spins in, the backhand solid. Youzhny's got the bigger forehand, or flatter, better backhand, a better serve. It's a question of him being able to use those slightly heavier shots to advantage and not make too many errors in attempting to do so.
Big error there from Nadal. It was the right play. He really did play that point well. He just missed the last deciding shot. Gets his opponent out of court. This is a pretty easy put away. The slice from the racket face of Youzhny contributing to dragging that ball down into the tape.
Well, it was a huge miss. It gives his opponent break point here.
You know, that one difference, though, that does favour Nadal, I think, is the margin for error he uses. He's got a very heavy game with great margin, doesn't make a lot of unforced errors, and it's whether Youzhny, with his more attacking style, I think, can maintain that for a long period of time. He's done it so far. Match now an hour and 46 minutes old. Can he do it for 3 to 3.5 hours, though? For me, that's a major question. And a free point for Nadal off the first serve. He doesn't get too many of those, so one coming at a vital time.
I think that's what makes this an intriguing contrast. We're seeing baseliners, but different styles of baseliners. And both fiercely competitive.
Nadal holds on. It's 3-all. Even Stevens.
Let's have a look at those forehand speed comparison. You see Nadal around 134 and Youzhny 143, so about 10k faster. Nadal's getting up a little higher with the extra topspin, a little higher over the net.
Yeah, from A to B, on average, probably Youzhny's might get there a bit quicker. But that heaviness and high bounce is also part of the weapon. That comes from Nadal.
Youzhny's average service speed's about 10k's faster as well.
I find it interesting that Nadal is wanting to attack the net more now. He's feeling under pressure when he stays back. He's not used to that. He's more used to having his own game dominate from the back of the court. But Youzhny has him under pressure and he's trying to change his game and mix it up.
That's his favourite tactic right there. Big forehand wide, deep into the corner. Opponent just struggles it back. And he then looks for another forehand, and he goes that heavy whipping shot. Here it is, into the open corner. Boy, he's won a lot of points in his young career with that tactic. And win a lot more too.
Well, over 5 sets, that's what, it's physical. There's ebbs and flows. Momentum changes. And this match really poised. This third set will probably be quite telling. That helps him, doesn't it? That he's only got 5 aces compared to none from Nadal, but more free points on that first serve as well. 6 aces now. He leads 4-3 in the third set.
Youzhny leads 4 games this round.
6 games to 2.
See his coach, Boris Sobkin, shouting out words of encouragement. Hopefully only that, not coaching.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, though.
How's your Russian? Well, this is really good, competitive, heavy tennis from both players. Neither player giving an inch, standing toe-to-toe. It's a real test, this third set. Imagine these two players, if they went 5, what sort of energy they would have given off to go the distance. This is as physical as it gets.
You wouldn't mind being the person who plays them in the next round.
Oh. Don't look at me. Oh, what a pass from Youzhny. He pumps himself. I'm surprised Nadal's coming forward. I think that's an indication that he's worried from the back of the court with Youzhny. Puts himself at a disadvantage there. What an excellent pass, though, down the line.
And wrong choice of shot there at 15-30. He needed to dig himself into the rally, not go for that return down the line.
That was a mighty big point, and so's this one. One slip here from Nadal, and Youzhny will serve for the third set. The risk not paying off there. Holds on Nadal. 4-all in the third. Well, you can do all this work in a tennis match, and you can go for nearly 2 hours, as these boys have here on centre court. But in the big moments is where a lot of it counts. At 4-all in the third, at a set-all, you have to play your best tennis, not give away easy points, maintain the level, because all that hard work can be for naught if you make too many mistakes at this stage of a match. New balls, Youzhny serving, 4-all. Well, you know, he's done that a couple of times, hasn't he?
Well, again, it was a late move forward. I think you saw the quality of his second serve. This one drags Nadal way out of court, so a late move forward. And then look at that. It's too far from his body. Can't control it.
It was a hesitation and then delayed movement, wasn't it? He's a good player, though, Youzhny. He has a lot of weapons. Good touch there on the volley. He played the right ball.
Yes. Not wanting to hit it back deep, worried about those big topspin passes, so a smart volley there. Forehand of Nadal not as effective off a low bounce.
30-15.
His fastest serve of the match, 2:05.
And the serve is making a difference, I think, as this match goes on. He's more effective on the first serve. He's getting more free points, more aces, and it enables him to serve and volley occasionally with a little more confidence, I think, than his opponent. Very confident on the serve in that game. He leads 5-4 in the third set. So it's approaching 2 hours now that these two players have been at each other. And a pretty big moment in the context of this match here at 4-5 in the third set. Good start to the game by Youzhny. Well, he's pressing the trigger, isn't he?
He is. His flatter ground strokes are doing the damage here. And the Frenchman really in trouble at love 30. Make that Spaniard.
15.
You know, on the big point, in the first couple of sets, he was doing the same thing, Alan, wasn't he? On his serve, when it really matters, he goes to Youzhny's forehand and he mixes it up either wide or into the body. Quite often he has been to the body on a 30-all point or a love 30 point. From Youzhny, and you could see how desperate Nadal was. He knew how important that point was. He dives on the hard surface to try and get this volley.
Well, he should have taken it on the full. He wasn't confident enough, and the top spinning approach then sits up, and there's the result.
Well, it brings up 2 set points for Mikhail Youzhny. He breaks through, and he's in control now, Youzhny. 2-1.
6 games to 7.
Gee, I'd be trying flat out like that too if I had a coach giving me a workout like that.
Well, Youzhny has left the court, Alan. He's gone off for a bathroom break, it seems, and it's given Rafael Nadal a chance to do some running repairs on that right shoe of his. Yeah, I think Boris was pretty excited there.
He sure was.
So this is a slow-mo extreme of Rafael Nadal's service motion. And look, the technique is not as good as some of the players around. He's certainly muscle-bound, isn't he? Look at that bicep there.
That is amazing, isn't it? What a shot. Contraction of the muscles.
Well, there's some strength there. The technique is not perfect, but he does muscle a serve a little bit. It's not as big as a lot of players around, but he uses it to set up his big forehand. But he is a strong young kid, 18 years of age. He's a player that's certainly has a big future, and on this type of surface, and certainly at the French Open, you'd expect him to do some serious damage over the coming years.
Let's have a look at some of these third set highlights. How close was he there? He's been the playmaker for most of the time. Youzhny. And there's the classic backhand. And some big serving when he's needed it. And a little bit better finish to his game so far, with the serve or the volley. And Nadal desperate. But speaking of desperation, it's hard to see it more evident than we're seeing from, well, both these players, really. He's calling for his towel. Wants two.
Yeah, so this fourth set now, particularly in the early stages, will be very important, particularly for young Nadal here. Can't afford to get behind now, because Youzhny is on a bit of a run. He's serving first. He's been serving well, better than his opponent.
That's one of the differences right there. His backhand, it's solid, but not a great shot. It's really just setting the point up and keeping him going till he can get onto his forehand, whereas this guy's backhand is a great shot. Forehand's not bad either.
Getting a bit anxious though, Nadal, pressing more and more. His normal heavy percentage play is not winning at this stage, and he's desperately seeking something else that can help him. What I like about Youzhny are a number of things, obviously, but he's really used his forehand well and his backhand to get to Nadal's forehand. It is Nadal's strength, but if you hit into that side of the court, you open up his weakness, the backhand, and I think Youzhny's done that very effectively. He's serving and volleying more and more, looking confident. 1-love.
First game,
Quiet, please.
Well, there's some super new shows coming up. We're going to have a busy February, I think.
Something that Mikhail Youzhny is not right now. He's very much at home on this centre court. He's feeling comfortable. He likes what he feels and sees in this environment. And he's got the better of his opponent right now. No question.
Well, he looks the winner to me, unless something goes wrong here. Can't quite see where Nadal's going to be able to take the match.
And keep in mind, Nadal beat Andy Roddick in the Davis Cup final just a month or two ago. It was on clay, Alan, but it just goes to show what a quality 18-year-old he is, beating the #2 player in a huge match in Davis Cup in front of 25,000 people. So Youzhny is really showing us some good stuff here, competing against a high-quality opponent and really playing well.
Long 30s.
He does, you're right. He looks like a winner here, Youzhny.
He's irritated with that backhand. Doesn't really transfer his weight as well as he might. Stands pretty upright, leans back a little. Just looks a little worried for the first time.
Right now he has Rafael Nadal covered. Outplaying him.
Looks as fresh as a daisy too, doesn't he, after he finishes this point? Just to rub it in a little bit, he just jogs back to the return position to say, look, no problem at all.
He's an all-court player, isn't he? Knows when to move forward. He's smart. And he has 3 break points here. He's got the break. Youzhny 2-love in the 4th set now.
The big news comes from Bobby Reynolds, who meets the winner of the match we're watching at the moment. It could well be Mikhail Youzhny. Back to Rod Laver Arena.
After doing all the hard work.
Long 15.
He misses the put away. The crowd really enjoying this struggle.
It was tough to pick a winner, wasn't it? Right through the progress of that point. Both players at times had the upper hand.
Well, he's fighting back.
Long 30s.
Good choice of shot there. He's not done with yet, he says.
I think not unlike a lot of clay quarters too, though. Their volleying is much more comfortable when they go for the touch volley.
Yes, it's usually a sign they're not a natural volleyer because they only want to play one, which hopefully will be a drop shot that will win them the point.
Long 14.
Well, this is a surprise because he opened his 4th set winning the first 2 games to love. Held serve to love, broke to love. And now has put himself in a major hole here.
Game.
Breaks back straight away, does Rafael Nadal. He trails 2-1 in the fourth set. So the trainer has been called here on Rod Laver Arena by Mikhail Youzhny.
And I think we noticed, well, it'll be about 40 minutes ago, that when he ran wide up that southern end, he pulled up a little gingerly, I thought. He didn't show much effect after that, but you can see there he's getting an assessment now of his left knee. Injury timeout hasn't been taken yet, because they have to make the assessment before they take the injury timeout.
So Youzhny here leading 2-1 and by 2 sets to 1 on Rod Laver Arena.
Well, it's both boys receiving attention, it appears, at the moment at Rod Laver Arena. So, Fitzy, what can you tell us, the latest?
Well, he doesn't look too happy here, Sandy. He's out of nowhere, really. Alan thought that he noticed him tweak that knee about a set and a half ago, but it really hasn't affected his movement, I wouldn't have thought. Not too visually anyway, but he did flex it in the last game.
But he even jogged back the previous game after he'd hit a great shot. So maybe that was just a bluff.
Okay, well, Boris, his coach, is not looking too happy about the situation. It is 2 sets to 1, Youzhny, and he is leading 2-1 in the fourth. No breaks. They're back on serve.
Let's once again return to our commentators at Rod Laver Arena.
Well, it seems, though, that it's the muscle above the knee here that's giving him trouble. It's either the quadricep, it might be the band, it could be where it attaches just above the knee, but it's certainly a long break here that Youzhny's taking, certainly the full time out, injury time.
Well, you'd think this would have to impact on the result as well, because this is she's had a lengthy time out, and he's looking a little concerned, and he looked the winner to me, I must say, but you'd have to question how it's all going to pan out now.
Yeah, strange that it didn't seem to be affecting his play in recent games. While we're waiting, let's have a look at a slow-mo extreme of Rafael Nadal's backhand side, and the bicep coming into play there a little bit too, and the tricep, bit of a horseshoe there. You can see the impact he makes, the racket head going from low to high. That's what imparts all the topspin. And as we speak, Nadal is jumping around. He senses that there might be a chink in the armour of his opponent. He's ready to serve.
I wonder if he might take a couple of practice ones, because this has been a long 3 minutes.
So they've called time now, and Youzhny's still bounding out. Maybe he was just foreseeing the muscle getting worse in the next 20 to 30 minutes. So it was his quadricep muscle, we believe, that was giving him some tightness. Nadal serving at 1-2 in the fourth set. And as is normally the case, Nadal more prepared than his opponent for that point. He was ready, raring to go, jumping around before he served. And Youzhny coming out late, not quite mentally or physically probably prepared for that first one. So Nadal gets the jump in this game.
We'll see now if Youzhny wants to try to shorten the points. We've had some very long, tough exchanges. I think he wouldn't want to have too many points where he's stretched from side to side. So that's shortening it. So he may have to risk a little bit more than he had been prepared to.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, won't it, in the next 5 to 10 minutes, whether he does try to keep the points short to let his body get back on track.
Well, hasn't affected Nadal's concentration. I don't think it does these days. The trainers are called so frequently to matches that players are used to seeing trainers there.
Game Nadal.
Good quick hold from Nadal. He's got a look of ferociousness on his face at 2-all. And I'm sure senses that there is a physical problem. And the body language of Youzhny not quite as good as it was. Shaking his head, he did flex his left leg again in the course of that last game.
Well, certainly just looking over to his coach and muttering something, but he looks very unhappy, as does Boris. Head down, shake of the head. His man was playing so well and looked the winner to me.
How quickly the tide can turn, huh? There's real concern, I'm sure, in the camp, because Youzhny is shaking his head too.
Being just around that left knee area, it won't help him on his serve. Got to push off with the left leg.
Great tennis. Great tennis, and that will be encouraging for Boris because Nadal threw everything he could. He defended beautifully in that point and made Youzhny hit the extra couple of shots. That was a terrific last backhand volley right in the corner. Look at that. Good technique. Beautifully played.
And sure if he meant it quite as good as that one, but lovely high backhand, and he had to push off and leap up into the air. We see it here, pushes off, and then just cuts around the side of it. You can see the angle of the racket face there to produce the deft touch off that rather difficult shot.
Well, he gets away with it. And he hits the volley perfectly, doesn't he?
Well, first time I've seen him smile, but he did a backspinner there.
Well, if we can see the result of this volley, you'll know why, Alan. He cuts underneath this volley. It lands over on Nadal's side and goes back on his. He's pretty happy with himself.
Well, for the moment, anyway. Well, I think he's still struggling, though, when he's not playing the points on his terms, when he has to react, change direction, push off suddenly to, if he's been wrong-footed by this forehand of Nadal. He's feeling a bit of pain. It's different if he's moving in the direction that he wants to and he's got control of the rally.
Solid game, nevertheless, and Mikhail Youzhny leads 3-2 in the fourth set now.
Arena. And don't forget, coming up a little bit later on today, Leighton Hewitt will be on Rod Laver Arena.
Okay, well, it's love 15 here. Nadal mishitting in the first rally off the top of the frame and skied the ball. Well, he uses the backhand well, usually, to take Nadal way out on his forehand side, and anything close to the line, then down the line, is almost a winner. So, using all parts of the court, and there's love 30.
15-30.
Well, as well as having his quad rubbed, he also took some was given some pills by the trainer as well. I only assume they'd be maybe some painkillers. He appears to be back on track.
Tennis.
Really was.
Gee, did he work over the forehand side one after another till he could get the opportunity to go down the line. Here it is. And 2 break points. Oh, good serve there out to the forehand. Sets up the opportunity for Nadal. Saves 1. Have to oil those shoes though.
We went for the ace. He hasn't chalked one up yet. Oh, huge error from Mikhail Youzhny. A massive error there.
Second serve. He just tried to get a little better angle, maybe. Caught
Yep.
the tape.
He was trying to be aggressive, wasn't he? But goodness me, it's letting a slow second serve off the hook. Back to deuce.
Nadal.
Well, Rafael Nadal hanging on by a thread, really, in this match at the moment.
Deuce. Advantage. Nadal.
Those shoes are getting louder.
Oh, they are.
Probably a little extra perspiration in them now than there was earlier in the match.
Well, that's just what he didn't want at net court.
Well, he hangs on, Nadal just. Here's Hawkeye that shows where Rafael Nadal actually makes contact in the first and second set, Alan, and a lot of his balls are a long way behind the baseline. He doesn't venture to the net too often, But when Youzhny started to get the better of him, you can see that he's moving forward in the court more often in the third and fourth sets. He feels under pressure from the back of the court and has felt compelled to go in and try to make a few volleys and to finish the points off from a different position. Oh, it's a beauty.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad a volley, but this is why he's such a tough player. That hooking forehand and pumping himself up here. Did well last game. Oh, and he's missed it.
Well, I was about to say great smash because he hit it very well. He middled it, but just over the sideline, and his footwork was not quite in a position there for that smash. It was a deep lob, great defensive play.
It was a bit risky, really, I think, taking it on the full. Such a high lob, I think he'd have been better off letting it bounce. Again, very stylish hitting there.
15-13.
Scrambling and the heavy top. Not quite as pretty game, really, from Nadal as the classical shots of Youzhny. Doesn't really matter how, though, how you do it, as long as you get it done. A bit of doubt, I think, has just crept into his mind. This one smash, just pulling it wide. That one into the tape, high volley. And he's probably still thinking about the fact he had 15-40 last game.
Two break points here for Nadal. Well, he breaks through Rafael Nadal. We're not done with yet here. 4-3 in the fourth set. Well, there's been a change in momentum here. No doubt Rafael Nadal here has new balls, serving at 4-3 with a break in hand. And you would have to say that if he can serve out this fourth set, he would start favourite in the fifth. At each change of ends, Mikhail Youzhny has been getting treatment for that problem above his left knee. It seemed like it was on the quadricep, but it seems to have moved down closer towards his kneecap, maybe at the attachment area. And he can continue to have treatment at the change of end as long as it's within the time frame.
Long, 13.
There won't be any more 3-minute timeouts, though, Alan.
No, that's as we understand it.
Only Nadal's second double fault there for the whole match. Love 30.
15.
Yeah, good kicking serve there. Well, lacked conviction there going towards that volley. There's a bit of hesitancy about it.
Certainly tough to pick a winner in this fourth set at the moment. Youzhny had 2 love. Lost 4 of the next 5 games, and now looks like he might break again.
30.
Still 1 break point remaining here. What defence from Nadal there.
Remarkable pickup.
Awfully good forehands from Youzhny. He did the right thing. In most circumstances, you'd expect him to win that point from the position he had Nadal in, but great defence.
Well, it was rifled at him so hard, but he had the ability to just shorten the backswing and meet it squarely. And rifled it back himself. That was a let. Yeah, I thought I heard it.
I did hear that.
Well, wishful thinking there from Nadal.
Well, he was hoping for his first ace.
Yeah, that's right, after 4 sets.
Had a clear let.
Wonderful tennis.
Brilliant tennis.
Wow, that's good hitting from Youzhny. He moved Nadal all over the court there.
It's extraordinary tennis, really. Defence and attack. First one player, then the next, and then the perfect choice of shot.
On the 20th ball hit in the rally. Longevity and quality there. Brings up another break point. It's only 22.9 degrees at the moment on centre court. Imagine if it was...
Yesterday.
Yeah, 39.
Well, appeared to lose a little balance there. He's had some chances in this set. Had 2 love, then at 3-all he had 15-40. He's had game points here, so he has had the opportunity to get this match in his pocket.
Pushed it wide. Brave play from Youzhny. You know, it seems a little bit like on the big point to that first court, he is waiting for the forehand. It's a habit of Nadal to go there. I'm not sure whether it's because he's playing against Youzhny or whether it's a normal procedure for him. But Youzhny's waiting for it and making some very effective first returns. The 4th break point in this game. It's 4-all.
Well, the A-Rod. Andy Roddick and, of course, Alicia Molik. And we're not far away from Leighton Hewitt.
AM and A-Rod. Looking forward to Alicia.
Oh, look, it's an outstanding tournament. The action's just happening all over the place, and highest of quality as we're seeing here. Second service ace, if you don't mind.
181 Ks for number 8.
So it is still 2-1 in favour of Mikhail Youzhny. It's 4-all now in the fourth set.
13.
And he's looking for a couple of free points here to give him some breathing space.
I don't want to bring this up for Rafael's sake, but at 4-5, the previous 2 sets, he's lost his serve. So I won't mention it.
Oh, that's too good. He catches Nadal leaning back to his backhand side. And he has the habit of doing that, Nadal, as a left-hander, leaning to his right a little bit so he can get around and hit the forehand. Youzhny goes for the opening. Well, making sure that one didn't come back. Old serve. He's only one game away, Mikhail Youzhny. It's 5-4. All here.
15.
Well, that's backing your judgment, isn't it?
Well, off a lowish bounce and his non-preferred forehand. It just shows you what a good shot it is. If this isn't his favourite one, this is a pretty fair shot.
Not much room for error there. Certainly not at 15-all when you're serving to stay in the match. What a great return of serve.
Wasn't a bad serve.
He's a talented player, Youzhny, isn't he?
Yep. Uses the slice there. He was pulled out wide. What an angle.
Well, you've got to give it to Mikhail Youzhny, seizing the opportunity there on a second serve.
13-14.
He belts that ball down the line and gets to his first match point. Goodness. I wonder if he was in two minds. He must have been.
I think he was. Initially looked like he was going to wait, let it bounce, then he decided, no, match point, I'm going to go for it. Didn't quite get as close in as he might have needed to. Still could have, I think, done a better job of it, though.
You know, the first return was pretty awesome, though, because he's been using the off forehand return from that second court. He decides to go the other way, and it was there for the taking. Juice. You think he's going to lie down?
No, I don't think so.
Well, he held that forehand. He saw Youzhny moving to his backhand side. Nadal just holds it. The energy of youth.
Pretty unlucky there, Youzhny. Just the last thing he wanted was that net cord to just pop it up.
Well, we're deep in the fourth. It's 5-all. And you never know how close you are to winning when you're down match point.
His movement doesn't seem to be affected though, Youzhny, I must say. He's had the trainer quite a lot, but he's still moving pretty freely around the court. He must be in a little bit of pain, but moving okay.
He's getting a bit anxious now though, Youzhny. A little bit anxious, trying to finish points off quickly. And Boris constantly talking to him from the stand.
Well, good move to give him the lob because he'd missed a couple of smashes. So just throw up another high one and give him a shot that he's not all that comfortable with, but on this occasion he handled it well. Pretty good low return there.
Sure was. Made Youzhny volley up. It was a difficult one to handle.
Again, the top of the net. This time the ball doesn't even go over. So this match continues to fluctuate. This kid saved match point.
You know, I like that saying, you don't know how close you are to winning when you're down match point, and it's only last game Nadal was down match point. He can turn this around quickly here. 2 break points. He's got the break. He'll serve for the 4th set when we come back. Well, Rafael Nadal was just meters outside of our bunker here on centre court, and there was a ferocious look of determination on his face. He's serving for the set now, the 4th set, 6-5.
15.
That's the Nadal camp there. Jordi Arazi there in the middle. Davis Cup captain for Spain.
You've had a couple of battles with him, the Davis Cup department.
Well, looking like it's going to the wire. I'm expecting to see a 5th set from here.
Spanish tennis has got a fair bit to look forward to with this 18-year-old. Helped them win it last year.
Youngest player ever to play in a final.
In a winning final, yeah.
Three set points.
And almost a little hint of capitulation in this game from Youzhny, which is most unlike him.
Game 4-7. Nadal.
So Mikhail Youzhny has to go the distance now with his younger opponent. 2 sets all.
Two sets.
6-love, but time to resume the Battle Royal at Rod Laver Arena. Don't forget later on, Leighton Hewitt coming up here on 7.
Well, certainly it is a battle royal. Start of the 5th. And we'll see how well Mikhail Youzhny absorbs the disappointment of not winning the match. He had a match point. So his start, all important here. And a little bit of a disappointing last game in the 4th set as well, John. And well, his shoulders are slumped a little. Not so Nadal. He looks as fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, break of serve here would be very nasty for Youzhny.
15-13.
Wonderful court coverage. Great tennis from Youzhny and awesome court coverage from Nadal.
13.
That was pretty tough to win a point.
You took the words out of my mouth. It is. He had to come up with a wonderful drop volley there to finish it off. Under pressure with a steam train coming at you. What touch. You know, under pressure, no doubt it's easier to hit a ball hard than it is to take the speed off it and use a touch shot. That takes a lot of talent when your nerves are starting to get frayed. Composure.
Well, he's come back well from love 30, Youzhny. And then maybe just relaxing a little after getting out of trouble. Fairly straightforward miss there.
Let's precise.
Questioning the let there, Youzhny. We heard it in the mics here on the side of the court. Surely it would be disheartening for Youzhny if he comes back in this game from love 30 and then has the opportunity at 40-30. If he was to lose this game, that would be just a little mini dagger.
I think he felt he'd won the point there at Juice. He didn't hear the net. He'd served volleyed, won the point in his mind, only to have it taken off him.
Oh, great forehand. Nadal looks strong. He edges ahead in the first game.
Just having a look at some of these highlights. Good touch when it was required. And on net, so a little bit more net play from Nadal that set. And easy put away here after the net cord. And there's that whipping forehand. Try another. How about that scissor kick and leap he did when he broke serve there? I mean,
looks like he could go another couple of sets here.
At least. Well, just a tremendous match, really. The crowd's been enthralled by this hitting that they've seen from these two players and the competitive instincts of both.
Heck, it's an interesting backhand, isn't it, this one? Very smooth. And maybe in some ways now, down a break early in the fifth, it might help him loosen up a little bit, forget about the opportunity he had, and maybe play a bit more like he's got nothing to lose. There was a fair bit to lose there at the end of the fourth. He looked like the winner.
Well, just when you think maybe he's down and out, comes up with that sort of tennis. Good variety in the rally. Nice sliced angle shot and then flattening it out.
Well, the thing about being down a break against Nadal is that you're still going to get a chance on Nadal's serve. He's not going to blow you off the court with it. You're going to have the opportunity to get into a rally. Oh, bad miss there from Youzhny, but normally he'll have the opportunity to get into the rally, and then if he can stay composed enough, back his judgment and go for the winners.
A good effort there by Nadal, desperate to keep that ball from getting over his head. Maintains net position and forces Youzhny to have to go for a pass.
Called out.
It's directed at his coach, that shout there. He's just sitting above him when he returns in that backhand corner. Still chatting to him. Perhaps chatting's not the right word. Arguing, maybe.
To love Nadal now. Puts a little bit of daylight between he and his opponent. It's tough to know whether he's actually having a real crack at his coach or whether he was just angry at himself, Youzhny.
Well, he needs to focus his efforts and his energies on Nadal at the moment. There's Boris Obkin. He's seen his man have match point.
He's coached Youzhny since he was 10 years old.
just using his forehand there. Wicked topspin from side to side. I think mentally you get tired in a long match having to fight to keep the ball down as it whips up at you. Not used to, plenty of the players hit with topspin, but not quite as much as this. That extra height on the bounce, it's tough to keep it down.
Oh, he's looking like a winner now, Nadal. And this surface too does accentuate that bounce.
It does.
With the rubber, the 8 millimeters of rubber underneath this acrylic paint, it makes the ball bounce higher than it normally would. And that vicious topspin from Nadal does become wearing over a period of time. Good touch there, though. Yeah.
Well, that is first class, absolutely.
And the odds shortening now considerably in Nadal's favour. Love 40. This is for 2 breaks in the 5th set. He breaks through again for the second time, Nadal, and he leads 3-love in the 5th set. So this match now well into the 4th hour. 3 hours and 16 minutes they've been on court. And has Nadal broken free here?
Well, Nadal continuing to just chase everything. That's the way he plays his tennis. He knows no other way. And he is tough as old boots for an 18-year-old. Jeez. But he's got that thing that you can't put in as a coach, that absolute desperation to be a player.
Yeah. Plays as if he's devoid of any food in the house. To make sure he has probably the fastest ball. Yeah, starting to hit a lot of body blows now.
13-15.
This is where it's hard for Youzhny to not think about the fact that he had match point, he had a play on it. He hesitated a little. He only just overhit the drive volley as it was, but the match was there for the taking. He's not been able to keep his game at that fantastic level that he had in those last 2 sets.
There's incredible endurance in this young lad, isn't there? For 18 years too. I know he's had a lot of long matches, big moments in stadiums where there's been huge atmosphere. I mean, 25,000 at the final of the Davis Cup last year. So his experiences are vast at this age, but what endurance he has to go the distance and to be still running at the speed and covering the amount of court he's covering deep into the fifth.
14.
Resignation?
Yeah, you can see on his face disappointment.
Oh, it's overplayed. It's 4-love. Rafael Nadal. Well, I've had some good battles before.
They have. And good to see James Blake back where he belongs, I think, at the top level of the game.
Oh, it really is. Yeah, it's been a tough time. We wish him well, and we wish Leighton well too. That should be a blockbuster.
Love 15.
I think there is an air of resignation now from Mikhail.
Well, he lost to Nadal a couple of weeks ago in straight sets. He looked like reversing that here when he had match point. He just played a wonderful match. Couldn't quite get there. Trouble with knee soreness.
15 on.
In trouble by somebody who has just refused to quit. So we'd have to say the mental battle as well as the physical battle looks like being won by the 18-year-old. Pretty hard to pick this when he runs onto this. You know he's going to whip it one way or the other. Just at the last moment, just a little adjustment of the wrist, whether it's the off one or hooking it back the other way. Just about impossible to pick.
I think catching the line, it was very tight.
Well, for me, he could have got the back edge of the line.
He's got all the answers. And she's right.
Absolutely spot on.
Well, sometimes in these situations, you might be down 4-love, 2 breaks, but just one break back can make it very interesting because players react in strange ways. So Youzhny holds. He's on the board in the fifth. It's 4-1 Nadal. Nadal ready to go. Youzhny still skipping, trying to encourage his tiring body back into this fifth set. It's 4-1.
15.
not done with yet.
15-30.
Well, even one break, Alan, can make a player tighten up. Someone who's in front. Nadal believes he's going to win from here, but one break back can just change his thought processes a little bit. Hey, don't count him out yet.
No. A lovely mixture in that shot from that point from Youzhny. Move the ball around, use some slice, some angles, and then flattens it out. Chance to get one of the breaks back.
Okay, and he does it. 4-2 down now.
Nadal leads 4 games to 2.
A little bit of tension it can cause in a player who's leading, especially when you have 2 breaks. You don't have far to sprint to the line, and you think your opponent's out of it. He's gone, and then he still shows exuberance and just puts a little bit of tension into you. So 4-2 now, Nadal. A quick game here would make things interesting.
Well, the scrambling ability of Nadal is quite something. Almost slides on these hard courts. Not usually a recommended thing to do. But boy, can he pick up some wide shots.
Another mini momentum change.
Well, interesting there. He slowed the pace down on that backhand.
Well, it's tightening up here on Rod Laver Arena. Mikhail Youzhny's within striking distance now. 4-3 down in the 5th.
That's what he wanted. After having lost the last 3 games, Rafael Nadal wanted an easy point to start this service game at 4-3. He's got it.
Two easy ones, really.
30 love.
And that explains how Youzhny's feeling. He knows he's given Nadal 2 gifts.
I'll make it 3.
Yeah.
Gosh, he'd done so well to come back from 4-love to 4-3. Exactly when he needed another really tough game against the Nadal serve. He's fallen into error.
It's an easy game. And just a set ago when he faced match point down, I wonder if he knew that he was this close to winning.
Well, just watching the competitive instincts that he's shown here, and he has right throughout his young career, there's no way he would have probably been thinking about defeat till he actually shakes hands.
So 3-5 now. Mikhail Youzhny. Well, a lesser character may well have dropped the bundle a bit at 4-love down in this set. Not this young man. It's good to see.
Nadal jumping on that short ball, putting the pressure on. Exactly the right thing to do when you're up 5-3. You might be able to finish it off right here and not have to worry about serving it out.
You don't think you'd prefer to have to serve it out? He's overplayed it.
I think you can believe it. Missed his favourite forehand. Amazing follow through there. That goes back behind his head. See how sharply he's brushing the racket up back of the ball.
Oh, good change up from Youzhny. He's used that on occasions in this match, not often, but it's a very good tactic. Coming in behind a second serve, and that was on a big, big point. Sometimes that just shocks the returner and you get a freebie out of it.
Well, he was ready for him that time as Youzhny came forward. And he comes. Nadal stays low and just gives him a difficult shot. Not necessarily trying to hit a winner here. Giving him a tough volley, and in the end it was good enough. unbelievable.
Outstanding point. Not just from Nadal. Youzhny played a classic here. But what a way to finish this off. That's knowing where your racket face is.
Yep. And it brings up match point.
It's all over.
Well, what a match, Fitzy.
Oh, look, bit of a classic, really, wasn't it? A youngster, oh, two youngsters,
Yeah.
a 22-year-old against an 18-year-old. And there was the odd weakness you could see in Nadal's game there, but for an 18-year-old, how mature is he?
Well, one of the most physical matches, I think, John, that I've ever seen. And this young man, he's certainly one of the toughest competitors I think we'll ever see.
Well, he comes through in 5 sets. He wins 6-1, 4-6, 4-6, 7-5, and 6-3 in the 5th.